And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome back to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We appreciate you tuning in, and we want to serve the community here as we always do as your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart as a consumer and also a business owner in many cases out there. Consumer Quarterback Show, we'd love to engage with you. Reach out to our hotline, 813-750-0550. You can reach us on the hotline anytime. It's an off-air number, 813-750-0550. And also bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our partners, our expert contributors, and guests alike. And we want to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. And one thing we always talk about here on the Consumer Quarterback Show is supporting the local economy. It's a lot about Tampa Bay, the Gulf Coast region of Florida here, and supporting our show partners. We've got a great show partner here with Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. We'd love for you to support her. She is a small business. Her and her family, she operates it with her two daughters. They're also COVID-19 certified for infection prevention and control. And follow her on Facebook at Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. And reach out to our hotline if you'd like to be connected with them. That's 813-750-0550. We'll put you right in touch with Jade's team, and they're going to clean your home, your office. They do a great job. Again, COVID-19 certified for infection and prevention. Great opportunity to reach out and support one of our local show partners, Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We always like to talk about some of our real estate listings. I got a property at 12208 Four Oaks Road here in Tampa Bay. Now, this property is a gorgeous property. It's a great development opportunity. So most builder developers right now are looking for land. They're looking for opportunities. And if you look at the major thoroughfares, the surrounding banks, the shopping, everything that's around this property, it's a great opportunity. Listed at $1.8 million. Compliments of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, so let's jump right into it. We've got a great lineup for you today. Later on the show, we're going to hear from our credit expert, William Crowley, credit restoration expert. We got attorney Millie Athanason as well here in studio as well. She's going to be talking about different legal things, what's happening in the legal profession. And we've seen some cases going to Zoom trials now and Zoom depositions and Zoom mediations and all that good stuff. So we're going to get an update from Millie as well about what's happening in that space. But we're going to go to the phones. We've got a awesome company here, Oggvo. We're going to talk with Omar. He's the development manager with Oggvo all the way from sunny California. Is that right?
Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, Washington. Oh, my bad. Seattle, Washington.
Up and coming Silicon Valley.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of, definitely a lot of, Fortune 500 companies based in that area. And you see a lot of that innovation coming from that Silicon area and of course, Seattle as well.
Right on, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. Absolutely. So let's talk about, we did a little pre-show interview and we're talking about veteran realtors. What do veteran realtors do? What are you seeing them doing right now and folks that are in business to succeed at this time?
Well, what I'm seeing right now is it's all hands on deck. It's been like that during this pandemic. A lot of veterans, the blood of their business is referral based, right?
Right.
Bob's going to know Stephanie, Stephanie's going to know Joe, Joe's going to know Steve, and they're going to refer them, right? Well, right now, we're in a pandemic where a lot of veterans aren't really seeing that kind of activity, right? Their phone isn't ringing. So when I get a veteran on the call and they're wondering, hey, my business has slowed down, I don't know what to do, and they're twiddling their thumbs. The approach that we like to give veterans is, they can still be your advocators, but instead of them with their sphere to anybody online, right? So with Oggvo, we have an automated system that we help generate reviews that turn into referrals online to where you have people that are actively looking, right? Interest rates are very appealing, right? people want to make a move on something, man. It's just about rebranding and repositioning yourself where those consumers are looking, and that's what Oggvo does to help.
Yeah. So when you look at today's business environment, and it's shifting over from an in-person opportunity where you're in person with the client, you're talking to the business owner, you're talking to the client. We're doing more and more stuff online, and the pandemic only exacerbated that scenario. There's more and more businesses now online conducting listing appointments via Zoom. We talked about the legal profession, even jury trials via Zoom. If you can imagine, hopefully people are paying attention, right? But yeah, so the world's changing, Omar, and you guys are helping folks understand how and where to put your energy.
100%. And I always tell people too, before this pandemic, if people weren't tech savvy with social distancing, they didn't have a choice, right? They had to learn how to maneuver around the internet. So that's a problem that's been solved. I think the big hotspots right now to position yourself are Google searches. I mean, one is the number one searches in the world. I would say Zillow. Regardless of anybody's thoughts on Zillow, it's a hot hub, right, for anything regarding real estate. And we're also an analytic company, so we can track monthly keyword volume on specific platforms. And Zillow, there's millions of searches being done every single month, all over the country. So it never hurts to position yourself as a featured realtor. When you have people shopping through those listings, a lot of people might not trust the stock market right now, right? So what they want to do is they want to invest in real estate because it's profitable long term.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, you look at that. You see what's happening, and then Airbnb took a hit in some cases, talking about the investor opportunity in some areas, some markets. But really, I've noticed down here in South Florida, there's more and more people because Dade County, over by Miami, Fort Lauderdale, got hit pretty hard. And then they went back into a second round of shutdowns, and people can't go out for dinner and those types of things. They were coming over to the East Coast, from the East Coast to the West Coast. So Naples, Marco Island, Fort Myers, some of those beautiful areas in there, Sanibel, Captiva Islands. So you see those micro trends, and I imagine they're happening across the country. So there's always going to be a hotbed and a great, to your point, Omar, a great opportunity for real estate investment. You just got to find out where that is.
100%. I got a couple of clients out of Arizona or Nevada, and they're seeing a lot of people out of California just saying, you know what, I'm done. Property taxes are high. Looking for work, and they're jumping ship. And I'm saying, first point of contact is going to be online, especially if they don't have a referral and you want to be that realtor that's found. And positioning is one thing, but when you have a consistent flow of 5-star reviews of clients validating that they chose you versus everybody else, because that's what a review is. A 5-star review will paint a picture of who you are, but it's also telling that potential client that, I chose this person versus 1,000 realtors in that state.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where it does start. And by the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Omar. He's from Oggvo, Sales and Development Manager from Oggvo, which is a company that helps real estate. Are you also helping other areas outside of real estate as well, Omar?
We work with all businesses. I mean, I'm very blessed to be in an industry where this can benefit anybody. I mean, whether you're a general contractor, whether you're a plumber, whether you're Stephanie sitting at home looking around. Oh, you know what? I got a leak in my sink. What are they going to do? They're going to go to Google. They're going to do a search, best plumber near me. They're going to look at reviews, and you want to be the person that's found, and that's where we come into play and help.
Yeah, so that's great. Then it's not just limited to real estate. It could be other professions. And I think that's a key point because and how many times as business owners do we spend chasing that new client, making cold calls, whatever it might be to get that new client, but there's also 4,800 previous clients or 1,200 previous clients in some cases of clients that you've worked with, you've successfully closed a deal for or done business with, that it seems like it's a much easier path of resistance.
100%. And, even with the cold calling, calling clients, calling leads, you have to, with 2020 here, you have to ask yourself, are they going to take my name? Are they going to look me up online? And you want to make sure that it's an accurate picture of who you are when they look you up based upon your client's experiences.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. It's definitely, they're going to verify. They're going to look at it. They're going to verify it, and then that's going to make them take that call to action to call. So Omar, what's a call to action, or maybe parting words that you might want to have for our radio family out there, our TV show as well on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku?
There is nothing more important in 2020 than your digital footprint. You want to be that realtor, that lender, that plumber, that contractor that is found when you have somebody looking for your industry, and Oggvo can help. If anybody wants a free consultation, go to www.oggvo.com and click on schedule demo, and we'd be happy to take a look and help you.
Perfect. Oggvo.com. Check them out. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Omar, thanks so much. It's been a pleasure, my friend.
I appreciate it, man. Love what you're doing out there. Thanks for making me a part of it.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you so much. Appreciate the kind words. All right, that's Omar from Oggvo. Reach out. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. And when we come back, we're going to jump into some interesting stuff. We've got William Crowley, the credit restoration magician, going to be on the show, talking about ways that you can avoid identity theft. And we've all heard the stats. Identity theft is a very fast-growing crime. It's an area that we really have to pay attention to, of course, going forward in this digital world. And also attorney Millie Athanason coming up as well. We're going to talk with an attorney here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, our feel-good story of the day. Police dog finds a missing mother and baby on his first ever shift. What a way to make a debut. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Also, the Golf Cart Depot. Big shout out to the Golf Cart Depot. Say hello to our friends Marty and his team. They do a wonderful job letting you test drive the golf carts. They've got 2 locations here in Tampa Bay. They've got the Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman, Icon electric vehicles, pre-owned, remanufactured golf carts available. You can also test drive at your location. Golf Cart Depot, the official golf cart partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Test drive one today. They will deliver it to you for that test drive. Land O'Lakes location, Clearwater location, and Golf Cart Depot, the official golf cart provider of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives. And got a new property listing, hot new property listing at 2528 Appaloosa Trail. This is a beautiful property right here in beautiful Palm Harbor, Florida. And we have the professional photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks. Beautiful home, 3-car, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car pool home, large home. Relax in your enclosed pool area and watch this beautiful sunsets here in Tampa Bay. Great opportunity. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we're going to the phones. We got William Crowley, the credit magician, on the line. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Doing well. More and more people are talking about, your credit package is hot, man. I tell you, people are calling in, asking for it, texting for it. They want to know what you know.
Good. Well, I just really want to help people let's demystify this whole credit repair process, because people have, I think, grossly misinterpreted and misunderstood it for so many years. And we're here to tell people primarily, look, what the Fair Credit Reporting Act was created by Congress in 1970, and what it does is it goes after the information that does, in fact, belong to you, okay? Not the information that doesn't belong to you. I mean, we'll do that, but you can easily resolve those issues yourself. If you, for instance, if you're a victim of identity theft, then the information can be removed using a police report, because it's not your information. I tell people, if it's that case, then file a police report. If it does, in fact, belong to you, then you come to us and we'll use the laws of the Fair Credit Reporting Act to go after the credit reporting agencies for violation of due process. They're not following the law when they're putting information on your credit reports, so that's how the information can be taken off your credit report. It doesn't mean that you didn't do it. Okay, you're guilty as charged. All the information that's there is yours. And I'm talking about in the form of bankruptcy, tax liens, late payments, judgments, collections, late payments, inquiries, charge-offs, you name it. Anything that's adversely affecting your credit report can be legally challenged, and a lot of it can be taken off. Notice I said a lot of it. I don't never tell people 100%, because we're still dealing with the corrupt system of the credit reporting agencies who get the opportunity to investigate themselves. So they're charged with the crime, and they get to investigate themselves. And if you're not persistent with them, you're not going to get good results. So we are helping our clients through the process of making everything transparent and really trying to help people understand, here's how the fair credit reporting works. Here's what you need to do to make it effectively work on your behalf. So all our program is definitely transparent. We're teaching people how to do their own credit repair, essentially. And then an additional step in teaching people how to do their credit repair, that's why we named ourselves Credit Restoration as opposed to your traditional credit repair companies, is because we take it a step further and we deal with things such as the Federal Trade Commission follow-up letter, cease and desist, and probably more important than anything, validation of debt letters that we use on collectors. Now, when a collector comes after our clients for a debt, we're using the Fair Credit Reporting Act to remove it off of the credit report. But then we're going to have to use the combination of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and the Uniform Commercial Code to go after the collectors to stop them from trying to contact our clients for a debt that the client no longer owes. For instance, if you charge off on an account, medical collection, or a credit card, any type of unsecured debt, it charges off. These accounts have insurance on them so that the lenders are protected. So if there's not payment on the consumer's behalf, the lenders are going to be satisfied through a charge off or a write off. It's insurance, whatever. I don't even get into trying to understand it. Just remember, consumers, that the lenders are taken care of. The collectors, in turn, buy the debt once the lender charges it off. That usually happens about 90 to 180 days of non-payment on your behalf. The original creditor will charge it off. The collectors will pop up and say, hey, we'll buy this debt for pennies on the dollar, and then they come after you for the full face value. And sometimes they try to even charge you more than what the original creditor was charging you for the debt. What you want to do as the consumer, just like we use the Fair Credit Reporting Act to remove information that does in fact belong to you, This information did at one time belong to you as well when it was in the hands of the original creditor. Then when the original creditor charges it off, they have no more dealings with the debt. The consumer now has been released of any financial obligation to the debt with the original creditor. So when the collector calls, don't be rude to them. Just tell them to send any correspondence they have to you in writing. And then you want to issue what they call a validation of debt letter, which is demanding the original note from the collector who does not have it because it's destroyed at the time of charge off with the original creditor. So we're doing all of this on behalf of our clients, and we're giving them the information so that later on in life, you can do this yourself. It's not some difficult process. It's just kind of, confusing to get through that convoluted, the convoluted language that they put in the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.
Right.
I'm sorry. You was trying to say something, Brandon?
Well, I was trying to fill in a word for it. It seems like it's tedious. It's one of those challenging things. People are busy too, so that's why you can help them with that. And
exactly.
And we're talking with William Crowley, the credit restoration expert, the credit magician here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the program. Again, another local area expert contributor. We want you to support the local partners of this show. And we're going to tee up a free credit package. Now, he offers this out for the first 3 listeners during our show from time to time. Let's offer that out, William. Why don't you tell them what it is, and I'll tee up the offer and have the text line.
Right. So you can call me for a free consultation, and if you need, I can send you some information, some of the hard copy that the Federal Trade Commission is giving out, of course, free of charge. Okay, but this information we can have some dialogue. I can send you the information, but it's a tremendous package, and it's going to assist you in being able to decipher what I call the hieroglyphics of the credit industry. And then we're going to give you tools in which you can correct this information yourself. Copies of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Uniform Commercial Code if need be. But then we're going to do the promotional block as well. That's going to lessen your visibility through the credit reporting agencies and probably decrease the amount of what you want to call it, your visibility where the credit reporting agencies can't sell your information. Okay, sell your information, then ultimately you become a victim of identity theft. So I always say the biggest perpetrator of identity theft is the credit reporting agencies themselves. We're going to have to control them, and we can if we utilize these consumer laws. So give me a call or reach out to me via email. Brandon will has all the information, and then we'll try to take care of you best we can.
Yeah, we'll give you some options here. Text in for that free credit package. It's a free credit package from William Crowley, the credit magician. 813-750-0550 is our consumer advocate hotline. Just simply text the word credit. If you're not a texter, you want to call, just leave a voicemail. We'll get right back to you. 813-750-0550. And William Crowley, the credit magician, he's going to follow that up. We're going to get that contact information over to him. We're going to ask you for your name and email, of course. That way he can get you the information, documentation. But it's going to be that credit package that he talks about. He's an expert in the space of credit improvement. Also, identity theft prevention. William, would you spend about a minute and a half or so on that credit that identity theft prevention as well? I think that's such a big key right now.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and give the number out over the air. That number is 888-567-8688. 888-567-88. And for the millennials who just deal with the internet alone, www.optoutprescreen.com. Optoutprescreen.com. So you can use one of those 2 vehicles and get your name off of that list that the credit reporting agencies using you to market their information, market your information so they can, sell your information and make money. But what they're not really realizing is that they're opening you up for damage. Okay, the credit reporting agencies sell that information. They don't scrutinize the character of any of these people they're selling the information to, and a lot of times people become victims of identity theft through that venue. So we want to encourage people, first of all, to go do promotional block and get your name off of that list. Okay, that's going to take you off of all 3 lists from the credit reporting agencies, and it's going to lessen your visibility we won't become, vulnerable to these type of attacks. I hear the music coming.
There's the music. Yeah, there it is. All right, William. Hey, good stuff, man. We appreciate you. Great information for our listeners out there. We really appreciate all you're doing to help our show listeners out there. Appreciate it, man.
Great.
Have a wonderful day, bud. All right,
buddy, you too.
That's William Crowley, the Credit Magician. Coming up, we got attorney Millie Athanason here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, our feel-good story of the day. Police dog finds missing mother and baby on his first ever shift. What a debut to the job. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And want to give a shout out to the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort on beautiful Treasure Island, Florida. That's Pinellas County. Just one of the best beaches in the entire Gulf Coast of Florida. And, of course, in the world, considered in the best beaches in the world, Clearwater and also St. Petersburg Beach. Multiple outfits have said that. 2 pools on site at the Sloppy Joe's restaurant as well. Bilmar Beach Resort, Treasure Island, Florida, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give Clyde Smith, the general manager, call the front desk. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And as you know, I'm a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. We actually rank in the top 1% of all real estate teams and agents here in Tampa Bay. My wife, Lindsay, and I own and operate our team. A couple of hot listings. We want to feature our real estate listings in ways that others don't. So here's 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. This is a freestanding office building. It's a perfect opportunity for a business owner to invest in the asset column of their business. We've got a freestanding building. You've got a large conference room, small kitchen, 8 other offices, plenty of space, fenced in. You've got the security systems, cameras, and also a large sign out by the main road, which is Hillsborough Avenue, and you won't believe the price. It's in the $450 price range. Great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. Invest in the asset column of your business. 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. You get a nice loan payment on that today as well with these low mortgage rates that we have. Also, we've got a great property at 520 George Street South. This is in Tarpon Springs on Lake Tarpon. Gorgeous waterfront property, wide open water views, mother-in-law suite, fish from your own dock, bring your boat. Lake Tarpon is a 2,500-acre lake, the largest in Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right. I love having our attorney panel in studio, our legal analyst in the house, attorney Millie Athanason. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, my pleasure as well. And we look at COVID-19, the election year stuff, everything happening. But that's what I love about our show and what we're doing is we're kind of sorting through a lot of that stuff, and we're just saying, hey, here's what really matters on a personal finance level. A lot of times we're talking to business owners. We just heard William Crowley talk about identity theft and ways that you can improve people's lives. You said today you wanted to talk a little bit about the automobile industry.
Yes, I did. Last time I was here, I talked about your homeowner's policy and said that it was a good time for you to kind of review what's happening on your policy and also to make sure that you've got the right coverages for you.
Right.
And so today I wanted to talk about your auto policy.
Okay.
And also see if you have the right coverages for you. Because I think there's a lot of nomenclature issues. People say, oh, I've got full coverage.
Yeah.
Well, what exactly does that mean?
Right.
And so I wanted to touch a little bit. The only two coverages that are actually required in the state of Florida for you to have on your auto policy in order for you to register, sign up and get your vehicle registered or vehicle registration is to have what's called personal injury protection or no fault coverage and property damage coverage. So personal injury protection or PIP, it's also called no fault, is a coverage in which the insurance company will pay your medical bills for your injuries that you've sustained as a result of an automobile accident at the rate of 80%. And it will also pick up your lost wages if you sustain lost wages at the rate of 60%. However, the legislature, unfortunately, within the past few years have added some stipulations to that, which make it a little bit more difficult for the consumer. So I kind of wanted to point those out. With regard to PIP, you now have to seek medical treatment within the first 14 days after your automobile accident,
Right.
or else they're not going to pay you PIP. Okay, so that's something that wasn't there before that's there now. And it also requires that you have, or that the doctors report that you have within that 14-day period, what's called an emergent medical circumstance, or an EMC, or emergency medical condition, which means that it's a condition that was caused by the accident, which will necessitate additional or continuing medical care. If you don't have that, you could be limited to only $2,500 in PIP instead of the $10,000 that PIP affords you. There's also deductibles on PIP as well that you can purchase, so that's something you want to look into. With regard to property damage liability, people have the understanding that since PIP pays for your medical bills, that the other required coverage of property damage covers situations when you're at fault and damage happens to your vehicle. That's incorrect. It's just the opposite, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Property damage coverage covers you when you cause damage to somebody else's property, and that could be vehicular property damage, as well as, let's say, damage to the telephone pole, if you hit a pole, or to a building or something like that. So those are the two required coverages in the state of Florida. So you know that if you go to get an automobile policy, you're going to at least get those two coverages. The other coverage that I think is extremely important to have in the state of Florida is called bodily injury liability coverage, or BI coverage for short. And what that does is it pays for injuries that you cause to other people as a result of the accident. It doesn't pay for injuries that are caused or done to you, but only what you do to someone else. So in other words, if you got into an automobile accident, it was your fault, and the other person that you hit is injured, then they can claim under your bodily injury liability policy. Coverage that goes somewhat hand in hand with bodily injury liability coverage is what's called uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. Also, slang is UM/UIM that it'll show on your deck sheet. This causes or pays for damages caused to you by others. And it covers you in a situation wherein the person that hits you, that causes the accident, either has no bodily injury liability coverage or consequently they don't have enough. So, for example, we're in a car accident and I hit you, let's just say.
Okay.
And then in that case, you could claim under my bodily injury liability coverage.
Okay.
So let's just say I only had $10,000 of BI or bodily injury coverage, but you've got $50,000 worth of injuries. Well, if you've got UM/UIM coverage, it'll pick up the difference because UIM coverage means underinsured. And what that means is that I'm the one that's underinsured as the one that caused the accident, not you.
Right.
So that's extremely important coverage in the state of Florida. And the reason for that is we're a very transient state. As you know, we've got tourists coming in and out of here. They may or may not have insurance coverage. And especially in these hard times, when you see people that are struggling to put food on the table, they may try to cut corners and cut certain coverages off their policy just to save a little bit of money. Understandable. Right. But if you've got uninsured motorist coverage, then that at least protects you in the event that somebody causes damage to you. The other coverages that are really important in the state of Florida are comprehensive and collision coverage.
Okay.
And they're a little bit different, although they're sold together. They're usually called comp and collision. So what it is collision pays for the damage to your own vehicle if you collide with another vehicle, even if you're the one at fault. So whereas property damage coverage only pays for damage you cause to other people's property, the collision coverage pays for the damage to your property. And typically, when you go to buy a car, they're going to require that you carry that, especially if it's a situation where you finance the vehicle and you just didn't purchase it outright. So you're going to have to carry collision coverage. And that's really important. Again, if an average of 30% of the people on the road don't have sufficient insurance, it's really good for you to have insurance to protect yourself, especially in these times, and especially with the road conditions that we have here with weather issues and things like that.
Yeah, rainy season.
You got it.
That's right.
So that definitely is a problem. The other coverage that's really important is the comprehensive coverage that's sold in conjunction with the collision coverage. And comprehensive is damage to your vehicle that a collision didn't cause. So in other words, if somebody broke into your vehicle and caused damage, or there were falling objects. I had a case once where we had a bank sign fall on somebody. Ooh. Yeah. So again, this would be a situation where comprehensive coverage would come into effect. It also covers theft and disaster type damage that can happen to your vehicle. So again, these are very important coverages that I think you need to look at your policy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's important to go through that, find out what you're paying, do a review. We always talk about getting a review, and at this point, I'd like to, give an endorsement to Doug Levi. Strategic Insurance is who I talk to, and who we urge our show listeners to speak with about their policies. Homeowners, all different types of policies. Get that review, do an annual checkup as well to make sure. And we've got attorney Millie Athanason here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're talking about auto and different policies that you want to have in place for your insurance policies and how that might play out. When we come back, we're going to jump into more with attorney Millie Athanason here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus our feel-good story of the day coming up. Police dog finds missing mother and baby on first ever shift. And our feel-good story of the day. More from our expert contributors in studio. We'll be right back after this short break.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. We appreciate you hanging out with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, a top-ranked real estate company and team right here in Tampa Bay. I'm a certified negotiation expert. Lindsay is also feng shui certified, and so we have a really unique combination of skill set to help you achieve your real estate goals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. 6417 Yvette Drive in Hudson. Great opportunity in Pasco County. This is a waterfront beauty. Now, you've got direct bay access to the Gulf of Mexico. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, bring your fishing equipment. 6417 Yvette Drive, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage. Great opportunity right here in beautiful Tampa Bay, listed at a great price here in beautiful Tampa Bay as well. We've got property as well in Tampa Bay, 1224 East Dr. MLK Jr. Boulevard. This is a property, it's a commercial asset in Tampa at 1224 East Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Tampa Bay. Commercial opportunity, 2 commercial lots for the price of 1 right here in Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our real estate listings and shop our inventory at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And we want to give a shout out to Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. And it's a great time to visit our friends at Replenish IV Solutions to get a boost in your immune system. These are vitamin infusion drips directly into your bloodstream. And we're talking about vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, all the good stuff coming into your blood system through a vitamin infusion drip. Most likely you've heard of the Maher's cocktail. Replenish IV Solutions. Say hello to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. And every day we're going to tell you a positive story here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, so we've got the police dog that finds missing mother and baby on first ever shift. A missing mother and baby were found on the edge of a ravine after spending the night outdoors thanks to a police dog on its first shift. Newly licensed police dog Max and his handler Pete Lloyd were crucial in tracking down the woman who had spent the night in a remote location in Wales with her young child. The 2-year-old German Shepherd mix was called to duty just before noon on August 1st when the force received a call reporting the pair missing. Thanks to excellent work between the teams, the woman's car was quickly found on a mountain road. Although this gave officers a location to search from, there was still a vast area to cover given the amount of time she had been missing. This is where PD's Max tracking skills really came into play. Despite only recently becoming licensed, on his first operational shift, he immediately commenced into an open search. Less than 2 hours after joining the effort, Max guided PC Lloyd to the missing woman who was waving her hand for help near a steep ravine and mountainside. Feel good story of the day right there coming at you. Man's best friend, I would say. So in that case, Millie, man's best friend right there, come find you if you're stuck in the woods somewhere. You're lost in the woods, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That'd be my best friend.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right. We got attorney Millie Athanason in studio here and law offices of Melissa Athanason here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, when you look at the way our country works, when there's opportunity, you're going to have fraudsters coming out. COVID-19 has made a lot of people nervous. A lot of people wondering, what about this type of PPP money? What about the CARES money? So you got to be careful of scams out there. And I'm told that you are helping people in that area as well. You had a client that had something happen.
Oh, yes. It's terrible. Unfortunately, what happened was a scam artist called up my client, I guess had some sort of a telephone recording that sounded like his son saying that he was in jail and had been arrested for DUI for drinking energy drinks. And the next thing you know, some presumed firm gets on the phone saying that they're a lawyer's office and that they needed to post an attorney's bond in order to have him released from jail. And they wanted $9,000 and they wanted my client to furnish that. So fortunately, he called me and we were able to get to the bottom of it. And I advised him that these numbers that he gave me were in fact bogus. They were not law firms at all, and that the information that they relayed to him was wrong, and his son was not in fact in jail.
Wow.
Very, very tragic. And this has been happening a lot. I saw on the news that the sheriff's office is actually warning people now to watch out because apparently they're preying on the elderly people.
Right.
And calling up and saying that their grandchild has been, has been arrested or something as terrible has happened and they need to post an immediate bond. If anybody calls like that, please don't immediately jump. Please take some steps to verify that. If you know an attorney or if you call our office, we'll be happy to help you, walk you through the steps of what you need to do to verify that the information that's being presented to you is accurate. If not, then you need to make some phone calls and double check on these issues. Check to see if this person is truly in jail. You can look that up. You can go to the jail website for the county that's affected, and it will tell you the list of inmates, or you can call the jail and actually ask. So these are things that you must do. Unfortunately, we have to be advocates for ourselves to a certain degree as consumers, and especially in a crisis like this. Unfortunately, people are desperate and they're looking to obtain money any which way they can.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, they go after the seniors, go after those that are maybe, not as educated as others. And it's a shame because it's the low-hanging fruit for them. In their eyes, they're making a business move,
right?
If you can call it that, loosely calling it a business move,
right?
But reach out. We'd love to talk to you if you have anybody that's hearing those types of things. I know there's a lot of fake loan scams out there.
Yes.
Be real careful about emails that come through with a link. Click on this link. I get them all the time. People trying to solicit me, real estate stuff, but they're sending over a link. I'm like, I'm not clicking on a link. I'm not not born yesterday. But 813-670-73. Actually, call our new hotline 750-0550. It's 750-0550, and we'll put you in touch with Millie and her team. Just text. You can also text in if you're a texter. Text scam. Also, FTC.gov. I find going to that every now and then, checking in with FTC.gov, you can kind of see what's going on out there, especially with the robocalls, that type of thing as well, Millie.
Oh, absolutely. And, there's also people have been complaining a lot, too, that they've heard that people that are receiving the PPP loans, that people have been fraudulently using them or using them to buy expensive sports cars, take fancy vacations, etc. And that is unfortunate.
It's abuse.
It is abuse of the system. What I can tell you is that obviously if you're doing that, you're not going to be eligible to have that loan forgiven.
Right.
Because under those standards that have been established by the government, you do have to prove and show a paper trail of what those funds were actually used for.
Right.
So that's some protection. Unfortunately, these cold calls to consumers, that's not something that we can monitor or that there's punishment for unless they get caught.
Right.
And from what I understand, some of these scam artists are from overseas and making calls. And they're using, if they get your credit card information, the risk is, let's just say they said they want $9,000. Well, if your credit limit on that card is, let's say, $15,000, well, guess what?
They're going to run it up.
You got it.
Yeah.
So you've got to be so careful in today's marketplace.
Yeah, you got to be diligent. You got to understand what the dynamics are of each conversation you're having. It happens in real estate transactions as well. You get phishing emails. You get emails where it looks like the actual address of the person you've been communicating with, but it's one or two letters off, or they put a dot between, title and whatever company, title company. And then it'll be just that little bit difference, but you don't catch it. And then you wire the money and then, the money's gone. So you've got to be real careful. You got to be diligent. It reminds me somewhat of the cruise line industry. A lot of people love to go on cruises, but they don't have the regulations because they're based in Panama. They're based in Costa Rica. There's a lot of ways that these companies get away from taxes, but also the laws. They're not held accountable. So you've got to be very diligent, very careful with that. With that, we'll get your final words, parting words of wisdom. Top nuggets of advice, Millie.
Well, today, as I said, I've been reviewing the auto policy, so I would recommend that everybody look at their auto policy, see that not only that the coverages they have are what's needed, but also the amounts. And if you want to review your policy, please feel free to call me. My phone number is 1-833-ASK-MILLY, MILLY, or you can call at 727-376-9100. We will set up a Zoom conference, phone conference, or in-person conference if you like to discuss these matters.
Very nice website, by the way. I love that on our TV screen there. Hey, another great show. I want to thank our expert contributors. I want to thank our production team, our folks out there listening and viewing, supporting the show. We've seen an uptick in calls lately to the program, so we greatly appreciate that. Everybody calling in, texting in, our hearts go out. Thank you so much for that. And as we always say, we want you to please consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time